When designing your user interface, try to make sure that you make good use of this space. Make sure it looks professional. One of the things that I look for is the margins between the border of the form and the objects. Now, from left to right, the border of the form to the edge of the picture on both sides looks pretty even. However, if you look at the top, don't use the top of the top border of the form, but use the bottom of the title bar. And the gap in between this label and the title bar is very narrow. At the bottom, you have an extremely wide margin between the bottom of the form and the exit button. Try to organize things a little bit better. You can grab several objects and move them all at once. For example, these buttons I think are much too close to those pictures. So I'm going to grab those buttons and just lower them down. I'm going to grab the label at the top, lower it down a little bit. Now if you want to use the blue line indicator, that's fine also. But then use that same line indicator on all sides. See that blue line that shows up to show that you're fairly close to the edge. In this case, down at the bottom, let's just resize the form. And since I moved that button left to right, we'll make sure we center it in the form again. Now I realize there's a fairly large gap here. Well, what we could do is basically move those closer together, resize the form horizontally, and then again, simply recenter everything. Notice again how I selected several things, and then center in form. Same thing here. That makes your form look, in my opinion, much more presentable.